Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, welcome to you. You're watching Encounter. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Shakuntala Hawoldar. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a former teacher and a former host at the former MCA. And a very warm welcome to you, Shakun.
Thank you.
And you're also an author. You are the author of 18 books, including The Big Lie.
Yes.
So we'll speak about this later, but before we start the program, I would like to tell our viewers that before Encounter began, yourself and me, we used to host a program called In Search of the Self. So we did 26 episodes and we spoke about Rumi, Tagore, Krishna, Jesus. And thanks to In Search of the Self and the little break, this is what has brought Encounter nowadays. So I have a massive thank you to tell you, Shakun, because it has been wonderful working with you for the whole year for In Search of the Self.
It's a pleasure.
And I'm one of the happiest persons to have you back on Encounter, finally. All right, Shakun, you're an author, you speak to many people, you carry out many talks, but you're also an author of 18 books, and the latest one is The Big Lie. We're not here to speak about the book. This program is not about speaking about books. But I'm very curious to know, what is The Big Lie? Because you spent 2 volumes of a book writing about it, and I just want to know, is it something that's real? Is it something that people are experiencing nowadays?
Actually, to tell you the truth, look around you. Look how easily we use the word love. Mm-hmm. Now, the word love is an état d'esprit.
Yeah.
It is a state of mind. You can't say, I love my mother and I don't love my mother-in-law. There's a problem somewhere. And you are right when you said there is a problem. Because very often people say, I love. And they don't love. They can't give of themselves. They can give a gift. They can give roses, which mean nothing. And they can show that they love. They can give a card. Oh, the birthday card has become a very big thing. Everybody gives cards to everybody, but what about picking up the phone and say, hello, I'm remembering you, it's your birthday?
Now it's just a WhatsApp message.
And now with poor spellings.
With poor spellings.
So it's disastrous. So what I'm saying is we are liars. Big liars.
Why have we become liars?
We have become liars because we are not in sync with the society.
With reality?
With reality. And the society is also lying. I just saw a movie about war, about the German war, about the first 2 world wars. Only pieces of legs, hands, broken faces. This is war on either side, whether you are a winner or a loser. But we are liars. And we act as if we are very powerful.
But the first war was like 100 years ago. Our society hasn't evolved.
No, there is a lack of maturity. Today there should be no war, no thought of war. You ask somebody on the road, what are you doing? You're not sure you'll get the truth. And he always pretends he's got something in his pocket which you don't know of. But mostly it is as foolish as the utterances. So what I'm trying to tell you is the big lie is about what we are all about.
It's a whole ecosystem that you're probably trying to address.
The human ecosystem. The plants don't lie. Dogs only wag their tail when they're happy. But I wag my tail when I'm not happy.
What does that mean?
Means I can say, hello, Roshan, I love you. And I can be a hypocrite. Yes. That is a lie.
In between saying something and doing something, there's a point where you have to realize that there's an issue. So the beginning, the starting point is to realize that there is a need for change.
I think everybody...
And on a personal level, because we cannot change society.
No.
We can change ourselves.
Yes. I think you pointed out the right thing.
So where do you start? That's my question.
You must start... All the books are directed to the self. And you have to spiritualize yourself. If you think you are only a body, the bank balance becomes very important.
Yes.
Because by the time you're 40, 50, you want to be the richest man on earth, and everybody wants that. But there is more to it. If you think you are not a body, that you're going to be part of the planetary existence forever and ever and ever, then what God you believe in, I don't bother. You can believe in Allah, I can believe in Christ, you can believe in Krishna, I can believe in Vishnu, and we can be good friends.
Of course.
But half the problems of the world is we fight about religion, or we pretend to. We fight about money, which we don't have. It's only numbers in the bank. So I think there's a serious problem of recognizing our society.
The bigger problem is recognizing what is really important. But as a youngster myself, I can tell that I can see a shift over the past few years that people are moving less towards religion and are trying to move more towards spirituality. We'll not discuss about spirituality, that's another discussion. But you have a bigger change in terms of people moving towards what is not religious.
Yes. Now what has happened is everybody says, okay, I'll be spiritual, and they go to the temple. Even this is a lie. They have a Panadol relationship with Bonji. They say, I'll have 3 Panadols, I'll give you so much money, so many flowers, so many laddus. And this is the way, or so many candles. So we bargain with God also. So at all levels we are liars. We lie about our spiritual life, we lie about ourselves, we lie about who we are, we lie about the kind of human beings we are becoming.
So you mentioned earlier the first thing to do would be to start being authentic.
Correct.
But my question is, how do you start being authentic? What if you had to start doing something now and you would say, okay, I hope I can become more authentic in my life? How do you start it?
I love your questions, my son. Your questions are so pertinent. How do you become authentic? By being just what you are. You say to me, Mrs. Hawoldar, you have done A, B, C, D. But if I sit on all the achievements, I may pretend to be X, Y, Z, and I'm pretentious. And I come to you and I pretend to be what I'm not. But I'm a simple 75-year-old woman wanting to realize that we are not true to ourselves. We have to be true to ourselves, our bars. This bars, the foundation itself is going like this.
Over the programs that I have recorded for Encounter, and of course with In Search of the Self, is, all right, there are people who are also authentic. But for those who are not authentic and living the big
majority.
lie, yes, it could be the majority, maybe not. What I'm trying to say is, there's a reason why they're doing it.
The reason mostly is something which, if they start searching in themselves, they will stop doing.
So why would they start searching then? What is the reason?
I feel somewhere they're unhappy. Now I'm coming to a very important part. The suffering of humanity is because we are doing things wrongly. We are getting electrocuted and putting our finger in the wrong hole because we are less and less authentic. This is very serious. When you don't know you have cancer, that is a problem. But when you have a cancer and you deny that you have a cancer, this is deadly.
All right.
It's a denial of a sickness. So my question is always, do we recognize how we are all degenerating?
Well, probably we don't see the difference because we see ourselves every day, so we don't see the changes.
Oh,
right?
we do. Supposing I lied to you.
All right.
From A to Z.
Yeah.
We would not have this friendship.
No.
Correct. So
Correct.
Trust is built on genuine, authentic relationship. You can't build a relationship on lies, on lack of trust and lack of honesty. So ethics forms a very big part of the pillars of our society.
The values and ethics.
Values and ethics all the time, and that is lacking. I think you can learn from reading.
Of course,
and from lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time.
That's what you call creating magic. coming to a more serious point is living the big lie. But there's not only the lie, also. There's also good things
But that
happening.
is deadly. When you have the lies mixed up with the good things, then you don't know whether the laddu is genuine or not.
Can you please explain a bit more?
Adulterated.
Yeah.
Now let us say a food which is adulterated. You put something that's not correct for the stomach into what you're making as food. And you put some goodies as well, which people will recognize as good. This is adulterated. We are changing ourselves. We are becoming less authentic, more adulterated, more contaminated, and full of nepotism.
Would you recommend there are practices that can be put, that someone can start so that they can at least plant the seed to try to change
Yes,
their lives?
definitely.
How do you do this?
My guru taught us that your thoughts are not your own.
No.
So your thoughts come, but you must keep the thoughts a little bit further away.
Why is that?
Then you have detachment.
All right.
So you see the thoughts there like a movie, running movie. And you see your mind is like a running movie. Don't get involved with the heroine and start kissing her.
All right. Can you please give me an example of how that
Yes.
works?
Supposing I don't like a person. I think only bad about that person. The movie is running.
All right.
You're already saying, oh, she's corrupt, she's stupid, she's this. It's like a movie. And I become part of the movie. I don't get detached from the movie, I become part of the movie.
Okay.
And when I meet her, I hate her.
Yes.
And you don't know why you hate this person. You know because you have been running the movie in your head. If you know what I mean.
There was a trigger for you to play that movie in your head.
Triggers are there. Always human beings have triggers. Somebody might not have wished you properly. Somebody might not have greeted you properly. But the way to live is live and moment to moment.
But different people react differently. Some people, they say, okay, you know what, somebody didn't greet me. I'm okay with that. Doesn't make a difference. Some people remain positive and some people become negative about it.
But you have to just learn positivity that will reduce your suffering. Your suffering increases, depends on the amount of negative thoughts are rolling around you.
Yes.
So this is why you reduce the movie of X, Y, and Z, and you become authentic and you become positive. Because that makes a difference in your living.
One of the things that we have many movies playing in our head, one of the main factors is stress management.
You know, we can blame stress, but early in the morning when you're brushing your teeth...
the stress is caused by ourselves.
Of course, you're picking from the environment.
All
You're
right.
picking up from your boss, you're picking up from your friend, all the negative qualities, and you are playing it in your head. But supposing you are blank, positively blank, and you're connected to your favorite image, maybe light, maybe God, maybe Allah, maybe whatever. It does not really matter. This whole business of religion doesn't really matter. Whether it is Allah, Christ, or Krishna, are you good? Are you honest? Are you straight? Are you truly happy because you don't think badly of others?
All right.
And the answer should be yes.
All right, in a scenario where you know that someone is not very nice, how do you deal with this
You
person?
avoid the person as much as possible so that that movie doesn't start playing in your head.
But so every time you meet a person you don't like,
you don't do it in an obvious way, but there are several ways you can avoid encountering the person as often as you can. And when the movie starts, you say, switch off, I don't want it.
But is it not better to deal with the situation?
How do you deal with the person? Then you have to turn the negative into positive, and you may not have the prowess.
I'm just curious because I rather have someone know that, all right, what you've done is not right to my perspective.
But
I do not appreciate what you've done.
But say it like this.
But,
Say it
but
like
it
this.
doesn't mean that I will not stay in the same room with that person.
No, say it like you said it, with love. And it changes.
Of course, because
Supposing you tell somebody something, I don't like your behavior, but you say it nicely. The person accepts it. Nobody likes blame. Nobody
one.
likes negativity.
no one.
So when you turn to somebody, you turn positively and say, maybe you could have done it differently.
The reason why I was saying, because why I would, instead of not facing the situation, but I would tell the person I don't like it, because then the other person also would know what's my thought, what I think of the situation.
But the human antenna is so clever. So clever. Everybody knows when you're frozen. See, when you come into the room, all your cameramen know Roshan is not in a good mood, even before you've spoken.
That never happens, but yeah, okay, I can get what you mean, yeah.
By your behavior,
Yes, by your
by
body
the way
language.
you hold things,
Surely.
by the way you push things around, people know that you're in a negative state.
Yes.
So, how do you change the negative into positive is the first question. And how do you change a negative relationship into a positive one? I think there is no other way. If somebody is negative with you, you be positive, and don't wish that person harm.
Well, there's a practice that I have recently come across. I don't know if you will agree with me. They said that if you have a person that you don't like, over 30 days, say one positive thing about that person every day, one positive thing about that person every day, and after 30 days, the perception of that person changes.
It is
You
true.
would meet that person, and your relationship changes, and it changes because of the positive affirmations you've done. Your attitude has changed towards the person.
No, there's no doubt. I think it's a very good method.
If you want to work on
Now,
that relationship.
I was the boss at MCA.
Yes.
I was the head of production. I had one person who did not like the production at all. And every time I would catch him doing something else.
All right.
So the fault is me. I never went to him to see what he was doing,
Or why he was doing
why
it.
he was doing it. He was doing some other computer graphics. And he taught me something which I should have learned. So you have to be humble and be ready to learn and not think that you know everything. This is a part of leadership. Today you see the leadership in big countries. I know everything. I decide who is going to do what.
That's not leadership.
No, leadership is humane. The world is humanity, of which you are a part and parcel. And what is your work? Change yourself and change the world more positively.
Well, the best leaders are those who really help people working with them
That's
to their best of their ability.
compassion. And the best leaders are those who change themselves and help the others.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Shakun. The big lie. Before leaving, before wrapping up this, is there something else you would like to add?
I think you have grown with MBC.
Yes, definitely.
And I love being interviewed by you.
Thank you very much. It's been 6 years I'm here now.
That's why I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much. And also, before wrapping up this episode, allow me to tell you that growing up, you have been an inspiration watching you on the MCA, which also explains why I'm here. I was watching people like you, the current acting president of the Republic, Balain Vayapuri, Georges Payen,
So many there were.
Raj Ganesh. There was also Mr. Muthusamy.
Yes.
So I still remember that was 25 years ago.
Well,
But I'm very grateful because then it has inspired me. Because watching you on TV, I said that I would want to be like those people one day.
you're better.
Well, I'm still learning, but thank you very much. Shakun, thank you very much for being with us. All the best and keep writing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of this episode of Encounter. If you have any suggestions or proposals or any guests you would like interviewed on the program, drop an email. It's encounter@mbc.net.mu. Until the very next program, goodbye.